Okay, fourth position right off the bat here. I don't recognize the other players, and we just had a season reset, so these may not necessarily be like high rank players. Um, okay, very deck buildy, very deck buildy set of leaders. Spy sets is interesting. Flagship and holo projectors. Oh, and there's the Kwisatz. Well, no one's getting the Kwisatz. The row is getting detonated, but I do feel comfortable picking Helena here. Like, yeah, of course I'm not going to get the Kwisatz, but I might be able to get the Esmar. And I will have an advantage against the Pauls and the Ilbons and the Memnons of the game. So I don't feel too bad about it. Leto goes second. Ilbon goes, or no, Leto goes third. Ilbon goes second. First goes to Baron. Baron kind of probably the correct play here when everyone's sort of more in that deck building lane that you'd want to be Baron. But I did see that there was a Spy Sats, and I thought, well, you know, Baron's not going to get any value out of Spy Sats most of the time, so why not play a leader who could get that? So no ring. Decent persuasion, but no ring. So we might be able to get like Esmar, Gene Manipulation, Chome Delegate, Throne Room. Again, the most likely scenario is just that somebody detonates here to block us, but whatever. So Fold Space first action on Baron. He did not want to go Hardy, which is interesting. I probably would have Hardied here given that the combat reward's pretty good, but he may not want first. He may prefer like second. All right. He's looking a little bit like Jesus himself. Jesus is Lord. Now, the Ilbons of the world, they might be like, well, I have so much card draw that I don't want to detonate the road because I can get the Kwisatz next round. And that's what we would take advantage of because we're going to have our ring next round. So, do we want to do like a Still Suits play? Like Still Suits open up the path to Research Station? I think the problem with that is there's not a good research card. I mean, don't get me wrong, Slave Farmer's okay, but it's not good enough. So Ilbon's going to go Wealth Mentat here. So we can always infiltrate tech negotiations. There's no rush on that. So yeah, let's open Still Suits here. Have access to Research Station for next round. And throw 2 troops in because the combat's pretty good for placing. Okay, Baron to Carthag. just one troop in, just looking for that 2 Solari, I guess. And yeah, we can get to the Esmar just by hitting Dagger Tech Negotiation here. So that's probably going to be our play. Unless somebody buys him first. And we are revealing last here. That's not really true. Ilban is most likely revealing last because he's going Mintat. I just don't think... I mean, I don't know. Maybe he has a way to make it happen. It's pretty hard to get to 8 in round 1. It's pretty difficult. Does he go with Dagger? No, he goes with Signet Ring. Okay, so now he's probably going to have daggers in hand, so that just makes it more likely it doesn't work out for him. So let's just go Tech Negotiation. The Negotiator itself is not super important, but having 5 Persuasion is very nice. Baron gets a Throne Room Politics. So he's going to be a threat for the BG Alliance. Hall Objectors could be good with the Chum Delegate, too, is something to think about, but obviously with Esmar it's better. And we're working our way kind of towards both right now. I wonder if Ilban's going to go like Hardy Warriors here, because I don't really... I've got the card with the back of my head on in it. What? Oh, I guess it is the back of it. That's funny. Delegate goes to Leto, who is a pretty good candidate for the card. And yeah, Ilban wants to fight in here, which makes sense. So I'll be getting the 3 Solari. That's enough that I can basically, if I don't want to go Research Station, I can go Great Flat Conspire and have a reliable round 3 Swordmaster. So cool, let's go ahead and grab our Esmar. The only problem with Esmar here is that he does decrease the odds that we can get the Kwisatz next round. Okay, here's with Gene Manipulation, which is honestly a very good pick here. We can ring the Kwisatz, which might help, but we'd still need a very lucky draw off of Research Station to make it happen. He doesn't have an Intrigue card. I guess they're asking him if he wants to go up or not, but that's not a real decision. Okay, so we have 4 Persuasion, so it's looking unlikely. We'd have to draw, like, let's say we went Signet Ring Research Station, okay? We go down to 3 at that point. And now Kwisatz costs 7, so we have to pick up 4. We pick up Convincing, let's say. In the perfect world, we pick up Convincing, okay? That's going to take us from 3 to 5. And then if we pick up another 1 Persuasion card, we can get there by going Dagger Tech Negotiation. But we have to specifically draw Convincing to make it work. So probably the better play here is just to do the Conspire route. Guild Bank Raid does throw that for a bit of a loop, though, because Guild Bank Raid means if we go to Research Station and we place decently well, we may not need Conspire. Like, it straight up gets us there if we win the combat. The only problem is we have the fewest troops of everybody. So I do think we want to at least try the Research Station for fun. And we can always Mentat if we want. I say we can always. That's not necessarily true. Let's do this. We'll probably get paid back on it from Esmar. So draw 1. Draw 2. That's not enough. Let's set aside the Kwisatz anyway, just in case. I don't want anyone else to get it. Do a research. We can always we can Mentat afterwards if we want to. If Ilban doesn't take it. Because I think fundamentally we're on a pretty clear path to Swordmaster anyway, so we don't really need to rush anything. Like, we're getting it either next round or round 4, so getting the Kwisatz is the higher overall goal. And we need 7, we have 4. If we can get convincing, basically, we can get there. I mean, it's not likely. But now, at least because we took the Kwisatz off the table, now Ilban's not really incentivized to go Mentat anymore. So he'll probably go do something else. We also have 3 specimens, which is another benefit of having gone Research Station. Although right now there's nothing good to get. You know, everyone's going to have 2. So if anybody buys a Talaxiro card, and the Slick Farmer's decent for 2 of the players, at least. I'm going to turn the volume up because it is a little too quiet. If you ask me. Then we have a chance at getting like a scientific breakthrough or something. We do want to make sure we place in the combat. Oh, he does go. Right? Why would you do that? Okay, well, we can go Wealth and almost guarantee Swordmaster next turn. The problem with this route is that it actually doesn't guarantee Swordmaster next turn because we may not have green. We might just want to go Arakeen here. It's not great. We could also go Wealth. Wealth probably guarantees us Swordmaster next turn, but again, we probably don't have the green. So, yeah, I guess it's Arakeen to try to. Oh, okay. Well, so basically that means that if we did get Mentat, we would have gotten the quiz odds. Just kind of crazy to think about. And I do think I want to make sure that I beat Leto here. Does he have 2 daggers? He has 1 dagger. So currently we're beating him. But let's not encourage... I'd like to get 4, you know. Let's try to discourage Ilbon from entering. Like, if Ilbon goes still suits, right? Like, puts 2 troops in, we're still going to be able to get Swordmaster very quickly. Again, if we can draw the green. Which we're only going to draw 2 cards, so we should try to buy a card now that has green on it, I think. So maybe we're just detonating here. I don't know. I mean, the power play is a good card, but... I mean, we can make a crack at it with Esmar. We can take, like, Esmar to, like, Imperial Basin and try to draw into what we're looking for. It's just kind of... I would settle for a BG Sister, I think. I don't know. I mean... It's, like, fine. It's not great. I don't know. Why not detonate? If we can see, like, an In the Shadows or something, that would be ideal. Or like Piter would be excellent here. Okay, Ilbon, you're gonna keep blocking me, huh? The only way you could really, the only way he could even really block me here is like still suits, put 2 troops in, have 2 daggers in hand, which he can't have. Right? What did he buy last round? He bought Fedaykin Death Commando, but he doesn't actually have any Fremming cards, so it's not possible for him to screw me here. You can put 2 troops in, man, but you're not getting it. Oh my gosh. This dude is dedicated hater. Okay, let's blow the row up. Perfect. Dangerous. But whatever. So, do we want Sherdog? You know what? I could add Slig Farmer, actually. Slig Farmer is not an amazing card by any means. It is green. I think we don't want it. I think we want to wait. Let one of these guys buy it, and then maybe we can get the Stitch Horror that comes after. You know you're getting, like... He is going to get 2 out of this, probably. Unless Leto plays a card. No detonation, huh? You're... I think you probably shouldn't let Leto have, or let Ilbon have Web of Power. That's my opinion. He has exactly 4, too. Scary. He had 1 dagger in hand, but we had 2. It just wasn't a very good play from him. Well... He does get, though. He does know. No, it is fine, actually, because he gets the Carino genes. He had no way of knowing he was going to get the Carino genes, but he lucked into it, and that's going to be enough to give him Swordmaster next round. We're Helena, we don't care, but, yeah. Now, if like, Leto has an ambush here, then he's really pretty screwed. Because I'll go Swordmaster first action. If I draw the card. 1, 2, 3, 4 green. We draw 2 cards. About half of them are green, so there's a decent chance we don't have that access. Guild Bank Raid resolved? Question mark. I don't think it did resolve. I think he's still waiting on a card. There's Piter. Hallelujah. So we don't have to do this first action, because Ilbon's going to do it before me anyway. Unless he's a risk taker and he thinks maybe that I'm going to be generous to him, which I'm not. Not after all the crap he's put me through. Subject X and Face Dancer. I would take Subject X for sure. I don't think I'll be able to. I think it's going to go before I get there, but this would be a good card in this situation. Okay, so he does take Swordmaster. So I'd like to pick up 2 spice so that we can hit... Actually, we only need 1 spice to hit... The problem is we don't have enough green to get hollow projectors. We could do the super risky thing and try to go that way, but that's not what we're going to do. Luckily, it doesn't seem like it's a priority for anybody. But let's go ahead and play Esmar here. Cool, so we got the second green. So that basically allows us to get the hollow projectors this round. Assuming that Baron doesn't take it, but I don't think he would. But what, I mean, what else is he gonna do? Spy satellites? I don't see the wisdom here in taking spice, but that's what he did. So, given that fact, he probably is taking hollow projectors. Bummer. Well, we can still get the discard synergy if we wanted to pick up invasion ships. But invasion ships is not a great Helena card. So maybe we reveal Piter then, since we're not as interested in going to tech negotiation anymore. We could do like dagger to swordmaster diplomacy. And yeah, we'd have a lot of persuasion, but right now there's not really anything good to buy. So I think we're better off getting the intrigue card from playing him. Spice is very popular this round. Leto kind of ended up in a rough spot this game, I think. I don't really see what he has going for him. I guess he's got the delegate. Wow. Okay. Play your Piter de Vries, guys. Jesus. So I think we just want to go to Fold Space. It gives us Interstellar Shipping next round, and we need the Fold Space card if we want to try to get the plans within plans. And 3 Persuasion's like not good. Probably we wouldn't buy anything in this situation, but we'll see what's available. Does Ilbon go full space to block me? Surely not. Surely he'd rather go Highliner here. If he has the guild access, I mean. Yeah, okay. Looks good to me, boss. That blocks Baron. If Baron could go full space, which, you know, he probably is considering doing that, then he would be able to beat Leto to Swordmaster next round by getting the 3 Solari, so we kind of cut him off a little bit too. So the plans within plans says that we want to play Esmar, or at least we want to play him at least one more time. Either that, or we don't have to. We could instead. Did he use his ring already? Yeah, he did. Okay, so he was at 1, and he went to. Interestingly, put 3 troops in here because, like, the modal scenario here, if he doesn't have a combat card, is that it causes him to go to 4 and get stolen from. Which, I have a Seek Allies, I will do it. Yeah, even if it costs me the interstellar shipping, I don't care. Now, presumably that means he's trying to win the combat. Which, to be fair, like, Ilbon doesn't have any juice, so... That's probably more likely what's going to happen here. We need to replenish our garrison. We're quite weak on... Oh, wow. He drew that already? Are you serious? Okay. Can't stop, won't stop. There's a good card that we can ring. We love our 5s, don't we, folks? Oh, okay. Just kidding. We love our 5s, don't we, folks? Why did he blow it up? You don't have any persuasion. It's not like Baron is going to do anything scary. So let's take the subject X. Industrial Espionage is cool, but it's not good with our deck. So X-Guild is also kind of in that ballpark. It's cool, but not good with what we're doing. Initiate doesn't go to faction. We have plans and plans. That's kind of the end of the story. So. Alright, Baron, let's see your combat juice. Tactician. Okay, you got another one. Okay. So, we go interstellar shipping here. Because he will not have 4 cards. And he'll have an extra point, so it'll be prudent to block him. The plus side is that he doesn't have a Swordmaster, and he's not super close to one. Especially if we block Interstellar. Like, at the earliest, he's going to be able to get it round 5. Which, to be fair, is not that bad. Helena being in the game kind of truncates the whole order of things there. Okay, so the card we did not draw is the card that we wanted, which is Experimentation. Do we have Bene Gesserit to use with the Embedded Agent? We do not. Gilded Cord would be good. We don't want Baron to get it, so... It's a little bit ambitious, but... You know what? Let's actually take Spice here. And we're going to just go Selective Breeding. Trim out a Dagger. Draw our Experimentation. Hopefully draw Piter or something like that. See if we can count to 5. The problem is that, like, by not playing our Experimentations, we have a problem with the subject X. we need to make it to here to start getting those scarabs. And we've only researched once, and it wasn't even from playing an experimentation. That's kind of the problem when you don't have guild, is that you're like, or you're not doing smuggling, is that you end up falling behind on research. And it shouldn't be that hard to make up for it, but we also have no water, so we're facing kind of a difficult situation here. That's one way to force yourself up on Solari. Actually pretty good for him. He's gonna get this spice. Yeah, not great. But at least if Leto didn't draw horribly, he doesn't get a sword master this round. He hasn't revealed the, that one card he was talking about earlier yet. Throne Room Politics. He must have it in hand. I don't know why it took him so long to think about that. He's blocked from playing the thing. Ilbon's gonna get a scarab out of that, which is pretty nasty. Chair Dog Supremacy, I guess. This. Trash the dagger. Yeah, Subject X is really not what we wanted to see there. We're no longer interested in the spy stats because we have plans within plans. So what are we going to do? We want to be able to hit 5 here. But if we play the experimentation, we're not going to be able to do that. So we want to play the dagger. So I think we're just going tech negotiation. We could go Arakeen with the caveat that Arakeen is very risky. If we draw Esmar or Fold Space, we don't get to 5. And maybe that's okay. Like, drawing Esmar is still pretty good. But drawing Full Space is pretty bad. I don't know. I mean, right now we have 2 opponents with empty garrisons, and we could try to take advantage of that fact by going Arakeen. But I think the end result is still Baron just, like, winning the combat by doing whatever he's going to do anyway. So it's still not great. Although 1 troop, we would still have our dagger, so... I don't know. I mean, especially if we draw Piter, like, we would have 2 daggers. We could be competitive. And Baron is out of intrigue cards. He doesn't have the ability to go to Hardy Warriors. So I'm going to take the risk. Okay. We go back up to 6. 1 troop is probably not going to win us the combat, but, you know, just basically right now, we've blocked Arakeen from other players. Baron can put a still suit troop in, which is fine, but we have a dagger, so he has to have 2 to come out ahead of us. And, like, probably the person who wins this is the guy who goes to Carthag. Did Leto pick up any... Or not Leto. Did Ilbon pick up any Fremen to go with his stuff? No, he did not. So He doesn't have the ability to, like, surprise 3 daggers us. So somebody's going to go to Carthag. And probably Leto's going to win the combat here. But if I get a water and a spice out of it, I'm honestly pretty happy. That's better than the tech negotiation where all we're getting is persuasion. Like, it's a very safe play. This gave us more overall value, in my view. Okay. Interesting play. Dreadnought, no tech. It does draw him a card. Toilet bowl battle. Yeah. I mean, there's a scenario here where I still win the combat, like, if neither of them have daggers or intrigue cards, which Baron doesn't have an intrigue card, but one of them, I'm sure one of them will have an intrigue card. Or, okay, this is kind of funny. So he's going to go in with the Dreadnought by hitting Imperial Basin again. So it doesn't look like anyone's interested in these cards, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy a Scarab. Maybe I get a combat card. I do not. So go ahead and get the Guild Accord. One dagger. Okay. It looks like we're probably getting nothing here, because it looks like one of either Ilbon or Leto will win the combat, and then we'll be tied for 4th. Although maybe, I don't know. Depends on a couple different factors. And this deck would have been so elite if I could have gotten those holo projectors. So right now we're sitting on a 12-card deck. We've trashed a dagger. We picked up 2 synergistic guild cards. Piter. Ooh. Subject X is good, but again, we keep not researching, and it's kind of a problem. Let's try to research next round if we can. It's just the problem is there's just not really good situations for me to go yellow. I like Embedded Agent more than Yield Accord, but in this situation we have no Bene Gesserit. I think this just makes more sense. Especially with the Esmar. There's a lot of stepping on each other's toes in this game. These guys are fighting over Mentat. Well, these 3 really, because Baron keeps getting it. Everyone's fighting over shipping. There was a lot of fighting over Swordmaster. And then you have this knife fight in a dark alley right here. So like the Dread automatically ties him with us, and if he draws into one of his daggers, then he's going to fight us. We still have the problem where we need to recover our garrison. One way we could do it is by not playing Esmar and just gathering the spice and conspiring, but I think one problem with that is we kind of need the guild progress. There it is. Well, I guess I get a spice out of this if... Yeah, not worth the troop, though. Not that I had any way of knowing that. Maybe saving the troop tech negotiation actually was a better play here. I don't know. That's not good. Oh, he's going for it. He's going for team research. So, I mean, any decent card lets Leto win here. He did go to Carthag. Like, even a 3-dagger card wins him the combat. I just think he's not paying a lot of attention because his first action was Swordmaster, but he took forever to do that too. If he has a combat card, he should play it. It's just, yeah. So, yes, it's true that Ilbon might be able to bounce him, but probably not. That urgent mission was really strong. Alright, you're winning, Ilbon. You're not playing a card. Let's go. I mean, I could get spy stats. It's... I don't know. It's not ideal. Turned out that Dreadnought play actually was pretty good for him. I wish these guys were a little faster. Maybe I'm delusional. How long has the game been so far? 41 minutes. Okay, yeah, they are super slow. It's not just me. Okay. Wind traps. Well, that was a lot of points. That was like 3 points in one round. Yeah. It's not great. Baron doing Baron stuff. Sometimes you don't need Swordmaster. He's already got another point queued up here pretty soon. And another one here. So yeah, I think he's just going to stomp us. I can fight him on guild, though. Come on, man. I don't know. I think they should shorten the turn timers a little bit. This expansion has been out for a while. Like, at this point, people should kind of know how it works, in my humble opinion. Got to do our time on the research track. Invasion ships is one way to replenish our garrison. I don't know. I don't know about that. We could just reveal Esmar here. Like, it's a damn good reveal. And it gives us access to Highliner. Okay, Invasion ships is off the table. Disposal facility is just too late for that. Just too late for that. Maybe block Baron on full space would be good. Full space to full space. Then we can Esmar afterwards. I think I like that. We run the risk of drawing the full space, but we could do the shuffle first if we wanted. It's a very good chair dog. This guy knows ball. Let's do this. And then I think we do play Esmar here. Take the Alliance. Ideally to Carthag, I think. I don't know. The next hand's not great. We could go Arakeen, but I think I don't know. Like, Carthag does pay Baron, which is kind of dangerous. But right now we're kind of behind, so trying to find like answers at Carthag could be the right decision. Still suits by the alternative is also pretty decent. Gets us access to Siege Tabor. Gets us back in the spice game. Helps with the plans within plans. Esmar does not help with the plans within plans, but we know we're going to draw the Guild Accord next round. So probably we want to have the Guild Alliance at that point. Because 3 spice on reveal is crazy. Definitely makes up for not revealing Esmar for spice now. Okay. Well, we don't have the Still Seas option anymore. So it's looking like Esmar to Carthag is just a play. If he draws Chome Shares, then oh well. I mean, at that point, it is what it is. Subject X. A little annoying, but it's not like we were going to be able to get it to go off this round anyway. But we would have probably gotten it to go off next round, so yeah. Can't deploy here. It's not worth it. Nice try, Baron. But you are not stealing the Guild Alliance from me now. But he can get a point off of, like, BG if he wants. Dispatch Envoy is pretty good. It lets us play the experimentation without having to go to a yellow space. I like that. That's defensive. That's basically him saying I'm at 7 points, I need to keep what I have, which decreases the odds the game ends round 6 or round 7 by him just blowing us out. But the problem is, I think if the game goes long, then Ilbun's in the best position. Even though I've got a great deck, he's got a good deck too. And he's more likely to be able to get SMFs. 6 Persuasion. Zedekar Legion is Emperor, which is a faction that we kind of need right now. And it does help us with our troop problems. It's probably better than Embedded Agent, which has an ability that's awesome, but redundant for this leader. But yeah, Ilbon is clearly the longer-term threat at this point. And I don't know what we do about it. Like, we flipped a Web of Power, and we didn't have our detonation token anymore, so sometimes that's just what happens. There's not really a solution there. Go ahead and grab the Legion. Ouch. We could also dispatch an Envoy the Legion to like Fremen, which would be kind of cool. Probably we're just going to use the card next round, but it's something that we can think about. The fact that Ilbon's getting off easy in this combat is really unfortunate. Man, I could have deployed, it's just, why am I going to use my troop to hurt Ilbon? But maybe I need to start thinking about that. Like, maybe I need to start thinking, like, Ilbon's probably in the lead, so we do need to start doing these zero-sum things to hurt him. Unfortunately. We definitely could highliner next turn if we wanted to, but I think that's a mistake. We're better off revealing the card, unless the combat is like really essential, which I have a hard time believing that it will be. Come on, man. We're almost an hour into the video, and we haven't even gotten to round 6. This is not hard. You're gonna go up and then up again. It is a good combat. That was probably too rude. I don't know. There was a better way to phrase this that didn't come off as snarky, and I'm not sure what it is. I think we probably need to get a High Council seat pretty soon. Otherwise, we're going to have trouble making the transition to the end game. But at least he's a nice guy. Unfortunately, we still have the same problem with Ilban. Come on, bro. Doesn't have to be that difficult. So now we have the issue of like, well, what if Leto block or not Leto, Ilban blocks us on Highlander next round? Anyway, selective breeding, not selective breeding, whatever this space is called, interstellar shipping. Gosh, I'm sorry. Is definitely the play here. We need the Scarab. And it potentially lets us save the Dispatch and Envoy, which is nice. There's no rush on the High Council seat. We can always just go there, even if somebody else takes it. We do have to consider the possibility that Baron has some sneaky way to sneak up here. I don't think he does. Let's look at his cards. Initiate, Freighter Fleet. Freighter Fleet's the main way he would do it. Is like basically like sneaking up the shipping track. But we're gonna have. He's not gonna get interstellar shipping again for a while. So unless he's just gonna be smuggling, I don't think. But the problem is Cloak and Dagger, right? I don't have a good solution to that, to be honest. Problem is, if we go selective breeding, which is what I want to be doing here, we're not going to have enough spice to Guild Accord next round. Or Highliner, for that matter. Well, I think blocking Mentat's better than going High Council here because we have an Ilban in the game who's quite the threat. But the problem is Ilban wants to go to High Council too, so it's not necessarily the case that blocking Mentat is better. Like, Mentat gives us a convincing. Okay, what are we gonna do with the convincing? You know? Probably better still to go High Council. Interesting. So is he going for like a faction bump? He's going for a Scarab. Okay. Kind of a weakish move, if you ask me. But I mean, he's clearly winning the game right now. So who am I to criticize? Let's block him from High Council. I just don't think the techs are very good here. It is true that spy sets is still worth a lot to me. Maybe we just say that the game developed in such a direction that Plans Within Plans wasn't doable, and we focused heavily on the guild, and maybe instead we're just going to have to go spy sets. But the problem is the spice cost associated with that is pretty heavy, and we kind of need our spice. I don't see a space that I want to send the Signet Ring. I think it's probably just going to be Dispatch and Envoy Signet Ring for, like, I don't know, Still Suits or something. We could go to Secrets. That's also decent. I don't know what his plan is here with the Cloak and Dagger. Maybe he's got Demand Respect, in which case that kind of hurts. And he just fully steals the Alliance. But if he has that, there's nothing we can do about it, right? Like, even if we were to go Guild Accord to Fold Space, or like Dispatch an Envoy Signet Ring to Fold Space, well, at that point he's going to go up 3 bumps, and there's not anything we can do to stop that. Interesting Highliner. I don't think he can beat what Baron's got on hand here. It makes sense because, like, you're probably not getting Highliner next round, so you might as well spend the spice. But if you can't actually win the combat at hand, I don't know how useful it is. Part of our problem in this game is that we've only been able to participate seriously in combats that give Solari, which is fine. It's good for getting an early Swordmaster, but that's not going to be good enough. And in terms of getting the plans within plans, we're not currently on track to actually accomplish that goal. So, I mean, we can go to Air Key and go up to 6 Persuasion by drawing the Convincing. I don't see what good that does us, besides maybe making us more likely to draw into the Guild Accord next round. Probably better to just dispatch an Envoy, work towards getting this plans within plans to go off. Still suits, I guess? I don't know. Maybe Secrets is honestly better here. Like, what does 1 water really give us at this stage in the game? Although we're getting 1 water from the Guild Accord, so it actually would unlock Research Station. But we don't really want to be going to Research Station. We want to be going to Factions. So I think I prefer Secrets here. Tiebreaker. Not great, to be honest. Satellite Ban is Faction, so... There you go. That's the boring answer. It also discards Guild Accord. Ixion Probe keeps him from having to go to theft range. Maybe he's gonna go maybe he's just trying to go to full space and he doesn't have the demand respect. I guess that's probably what he's doing here. I don't know. I don't even know if we want this card, to be honest. Like, we have some great cards, and this is not better than most of those. Wind Traps? Mimic Orders. Alright, well, Mimic Orders is extremely good here. We still haven't gotten the Harvest Cells to go off, which is just crazy. I honestly don't think we buy the Satellite Ban. So, Ilbon should take the Mimic Orders away from us. But there's a chance that he doesn't. And then we can get it off of Interstar Shipping. We could pick up Corrupt Smuggler since it's a guild card that also has yellow, which allows us to go Interstar Shipping. I think it's just worse than what we have. So he goes up to 8. We knew that was coming. So it looks like he's trying to find a way to really press me on guild. But I did get to eat my 3 spice and my 1 water to go off. So if he wants to get super myopic about that, that's up to him. Ilbon's still slow as always. Okay. Vicious talents. Well, I'm glad to see him. I'm glad to see it out of the way, I suppose. So now is the time that we find out: does he have demand respect, or did he draw into demand respect from the combat? Because if he might not have it. He may just be like, well, there's a decent-ish shot. Like there's the greater than 1% chance I draw into it, right? And if he draws into it, then that's really dangerous. Looking pretty clear for me for next combat, because I'll have Highliner. There's a chance that I don't get the access. I've got Fold Space, Diplomacy, and Guild Accord. If I don't draw either of those cards, then maybe I don't get it, but Highliner also protects me on Guild if Baron is just trying to, like, go up 1 and then block. Okay, he's not. It looks like he doesn't have the demand respect. That's good for me because it allows me to focus on other things. If we have the Guild Accord, we don't have to prioritize Highliner. Perfect control bonus. Ouch. Okay, so we have the Guild Accord, so our best play is Interstellar Shipping. And we'll see what Ilbon allows us to do. He does allow us to do it. Again, Sherdog plus Web of Power is pretty gross. I feel these two are fighting for the game, and I'm just kind of tagging along. Now, I don't love letting Leto have Highliner, but I think it's acceptable. Like it's a risk I'm comfortable with taking. Like, getting the Mimic Orders is more important. Does anybody have the Spice Hats still? No. I think we gotta get up. We gotta get up Emperor eventually. Oh, we could have done both and taken the BG. Damn it. Okay. Well, too late now. So now, I mean, at least the Mimic Orders bump makes things easier for us because we only have to clear 1 on BG, 1 on Emperor, and 2 on Fremen. Research Station is annoying because it gives him a chance to close the game out, but we are going to be able to infiltrate the space. Like, we're guaranteed right now the ability to go Guild Accord to Highliner, Fold Space to Research Station, if we want to. It may be better to play the Fold Space to, like, Hardy Warriors. I don't know. But it's, you know, these are kind of the things that we have to think about. Goes to 4 Intrigues. So now maybe we're better off going to secrets. Because we need that third on BG. Just kind of depends on if Leto goes Highliner here or not. He's not. So, should we go to Highliner first just as a blocker maneuver? I don't think so. I think we're better off sitting full space to secrets because now is the time that we can steal. And again, even if Leto goes Highliner, we can go Highliner right behind him. But he does have a greater deployment, so like if he gets Highliner, he probably wins the combat. Which kind of defeats the point from our end. But we're going to draw 2 intrigue cards from secrets, so maybe we get enough combat juice to beat him. There's a lot to consider here. And Baron's at 9 points, so I think it's just transparently good to try to steal from him when we can. Tactician. Okay. Not horrible. Draw that. For sure. That helps, because it means that we can deploy the extra troops. The Tactician helps. So now I feel more comfortable going Highliner here. So basically, we have 2 of the factions done. We still have 2 to go on Fremen and 1 to go on Emperor, but it's a 3-point swing if we do. But we definitely need to get involved in the combat because we don't want to have our own cards at death range next round. Unfortunately, we're 8 because we're so close to that Spice Must Flow. I kind of figured I wasn't going to get it even after the High Council seat, but I had to put myself in contention for it, and certainly blocking Ilbon was good as well. Okay, for some reason he's just allergic to Highliner. He could have gone to Highliner. So I don't really know exactly what he's doing here. Maybe, but he's not chasing Baron. Like, he can't have that alliance. So I don't know. The sad thing about playing the Guild Accord here is that, like, objectively we don't really have anything to gain from the Mem Quarter's perspective by going to Highliner. But it's a 2-point combat, so that's really the bottom line. Too bad we can't use Signet Ring for, like, you know, Signet Ring, reserve a Spice Must Flow. That would be ideal. I guess technically we can go Signet Ring, Tech Negotiation, Biomimic Film, get Spice Must Flow, but that has many problems. Although we could use Legion to throw 3 troops in and then use Harvest Cells, but I just think that's not the play. Although, isn't it? Because if it gives us a Spice Must Flow next round, but we have Piter next round, and we also have High Council, or we have a research station. So I don't like the Mimic Film is a point now, but why give Leto points that we don't need to give him? You know. And it's true that we can save these cards for next round. Looks like Ilbon's buying the film anyway. He is not. But we're still going to go Highliner. With a 2 spice discount, it's pretty hard to argue with the value there. go until we have 3 troops in the garrison, because we can always legion in. If we go to 10, he's going to be less alarmed and feel less of a need to, like, go to combat spaces. But the good thing about playing Guild Accord here is it does really put this out of theft range for Baron unless something very unusual happens. Bad news is here we do not have Guild Accord next round, so we're not going to be eligible for Highliner at that point. Unless we lose the combat, get second, and then we'd have enough spice that we could then go back to Highliner, if we draw Diplomacy. We only have 5 daggers worth of juice in hand. It's not a lot. But we have 6 of the Legion, so we should win the combat without too much trouble, unless Baron's got some real heat. But not getting the SMF this round, that might cost us the game. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, when you don't have it, you don't have it. And to be fair, I haven't been buying a whole lot of Persuasion. Like, Guild Accord is 0. Esmar is 0. Yeah, we have Piter, but it's not like we've bought any liaisons or anything, you know? We've only trashed 1 dagger, so... You know what I really want to play right now is, one of those good old-fashioned Armand de Kaz games. I haven't had a chance to do some good Armand de Kazing in a while. Interesting. So he has Web of Power, so he's gonna steal that alliance. It's crazy that he keeps getting that graph to go off. Like, Cheerdog is the only card that I can think... No, he actually has Researcher, okay. So he bought into more ways to make it happen. So Spiritual Fervor is the only one of these cards that actually gives a short-term benefit, so it's the card that I would take here. Scarab for sure. Stutz Manufacturer is access to Fremen. But we don't have any other Fremen cards. So I don't think so. If it were 2 Persuasion, I would do it. But it's not. I do think it's plausible that we could get to the second point. We play Subject X once, and then we have another Scarab on the track. We're pretty close to buying. Ooh, gross. Well, I stole from him for a reason. So right now we don't even have to play our combat cards. Poor Leto. These two have just been crushing the game. I'm kind of hanging in there, but poor Leto. But he probably just, was too busy looking at his phone. But he could have gone Highliner this round, chose not to. So I don't know, man. Like what does Hardy Warriors do for you here? You're not getting that alliance. Maybe he's got Grand Conspiracy, and he wants to have 4-on-1. I don't know. That's the only reason I can think of. Or 4-on-2, sorry. At which point he would have accomplished that goal. He has a High Council seat, so he's playing like he has Grand Conspiracy. Alright, come on, man. We are in round 7, okay? Normally it takes about 50 minutes to get to round 7, and it's been an hour and 21 minutes. No card. No card from me, I can just use my Harvest Cells. No card from Baron. Card? War Chest, okay. I can beat that. I would have preferred not to have to use both cards, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. What if we put one of these cards on top? Scientific Breakthrough is just straight up a point, right? Isn't that better than buying a Scarab? Like putting Scientific Breakthrough on top? It is, as long as we actually can, like, the agent box that we're not using for something else doesn't cost us a point. What about Gola? Is there any way Gola could be better? Probably not. I mean, Gola into Subject X is 2 Scarabs, but it's costing us 1 Scarab, and we would have gotten 1 from the Subject X anyway. So yeah, it's I think Scientific Breakthrough off of the Harvest Cells is the play here. Put it on top. Now that I've said something nasty to, not nasty, but I kind of snapped at Leto. Now I feel like I can't say something to Ilbon, because then I'm just kind of like being a bitch, right? So, but seriously, Ilbon, this is way too slow. Harvest Cells, Breakthrough on top of deck. Okay. So Subject X, basically the 3 cards we needed, we didn't get. But that's kind of what happens. Oops. That's kind of what happens when you play the side, when you put another card on top of your deck. So we're actually, we have to do it like this, I think. So we actually trash the Guild Accord for a crap ton of resources. Scarab. Draw, trash. Didn't get Piter, kind of need him. But we can play Esmar and fix that. But if we play Esmar, I don't know, we need is like a bump on Emperor to at least salvage the plans. I don't think we're getting the second, I don't think we're getting the Mammoth Quarters point. We do have enough for Highliner, though. I don't know that it's the correct play, but you know, I mean, it's something. What we really need is Mentat. We don't have the money. I mean, I could go, like, wealth off of diplomacy. And that does technically open up Mentat as a possibility. It's not going to happen, but If Ilbon and Leto are distracted, it might. And it does guarantee us 1 point from plans within plans. What about if we went Hardy Warriors? Because that's just a straight up point, like immediately. It's the same point. I don't know. Playing Subject X right now does give us a point because we buy a Scarab and then we take the Scarab from playing Subject X. So we can get to 11 this round pretty easily. It's just a question of like tiebreakers and stuff. So let's do this, I guess. And that gives us the first plans point. It doesn't end the game, but it does stick around for the end of the game. Please forgive you. There's no way you can steal my alliance, right? I'm trying to think of how he could do it. Like, Interstellar shipping with a card that trash the freighter fleet, go up guild, but that's only one bump. I have one. I don't know where the idea that I'd have 5 came from. I guess I had a lot last round. So maybe there. Okay, so he just left, basically. Which, to be fair, he's far enough behind that I think that's a reasonable decision. The problem is that if Baron gets second in the combat, the game is pretty borked. I don't know what the solution to that is. It's crazy how often he's been able to play this with power, by the way. I kind of want Ilbon to place here. I don't think we can play Esmar. Because we need to play Subject X, right? It just depends on if Ilbon goes Mentat or not. Because if he doesn't do Mentat, we can Subject X. No! So we have to play Subject X, I think. It's a point. I guess we buy Spy Sats and crack them. We use our Negotiator from the beginning of the game. That's going to cost us on Spice Tiebreaker, but it's a point, so it's hard to argue with that. We don't even have to crack them. We have a point from it by default. So I guess that is the play. We do this. Ambush is not useful. Spy Sats. And yeah, we don't even bother cracking him at this point. Okay. Guild authorization quid pro, right? Let's see. Oh my god. No way. Oh my god. Oh, that's my game. I think. Unless Ilbon can take his point away. That's crazy. You could never plan for something like that. So we have one from Plans Within Plans. We have one from Scarabs. We have one from Spy Sats. So we're at 11. Technically, we're ahead of Baron if we can find a way to make him lose the second place for the combat, because we have more spice. That's crazy. And we rated his hand for intrigues too. Still couldn't catch him. So Ilban probably can't win now. The question is, like, does he want a point from second, which is pretty easy to get. Of course, if Baron has an in-game point, then none of this matters, right? If we buy Spiritual Fervor, we go back to up to 8 again, which is kind of funny. 1 persuasion short. So first, Scarab, point, Spiritual Fervor, research, Piter. It's too late. So actually I think I win now, unless Baron has an endgame point. Which, who knows, he might. But we have the easiest endgame point we've taken from him, which is the Plans Within Plans. And he doesn't have CTM, but if he has the 3 techs, or the finish the research track points, then he wins. He's only got 2 intrigues, so if he has an in-game point, honestly, the guy was insanely lucky with his intrigues. Very rare that you see these 2 techs put together, but sometimes that's just how it goes. And actually gainfully, kind of. I mean, not really. We don't get the Mimic Lord's point, but we do get Plans Within Plans point. We wouldn't have if we hadn't gone up on Emperor with it, so... Okay, Ilban. Look, I don't think you can win here, so you probably should just try to win the combat. So, go like Carthag or Hardy Warriors or something. Because he's got every friendship, and he can't get any alliances. I mean, I'm assuming he's getting a Scarab point anyway. Hardy Warriors. I think that gives the game to me, but we'll see what happens. Again, it depends on if Baron has an end-game point or not. So Ilban's actually going for first in the combat. But it looks like it's not a large enough swing. Like it's like 2 points for him, maybe 3. Still not enough. And also, he didn't get his Scarab point, so... Or an SMF. If he hadn't lost the alliance to Leto, maybe. So the good news is Baron didn't get the point. Again, it just really comes down to in-game intrigues. Waiting for other players to continue. Do you have demand respect? Come on. We're at the very end of the game, man. Please. This is crazy. He's honestly so much worse than Leto was. GG Wastrel. Well, that's a close one. But I do enjoy me some Esmar Guild Accord synergy. I have to say also, the scientific breakthrough thing at the very end was essential. If we don't put the scientific breakthrough on top, we don't win. Although I don't know how much that's true, because I'm thinking about it now, like basically we would have drawn Piter if we didn't draw scientific breakthrough, and Piter probably gives us a Spice Must Flow. I don't know. There's a couple of different ways you could argue, but also like though on the flip side, being able to have scientific breakthrough to research station, that is an extra research that we got, which allowed us to trash the Guild Accord, which gave us enough spice to be ahead of Baron. Right, if we don't trash a Guild Accord, we lose to Baron on Spice tiebreaker, and it also gave us the Scarab, which was a point. So it was maybe like a 2-point swing. So Harvest Cells turns out to be really good. Mimic Order Spy Satellite is kind of interesting. This is a pretty interesting game, actually. It wouldn't have taken much for me to lose, though. Like, if Baron either had enough combat juice to overcome the second place person, he would win. Or if he had either Machine Culture, which gives him a point, or either of the 2 cards that give you a point for having the research track complete. Now, one of them requires a high council seat, and he wouldn't qualify for that one. But the other one requires 3 spice. He would definitely qualify for that. So I can think of those as cards that would win him the game here. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to think that, like, even with his crazy intrigue luck with stealing the guild, that we still were able to beat him there. Yeah. Sedekar Legion, I don't know if it did. I mean, it probably helped quite a bit. Like, without the Legion, I think we probably don't win the combat last round. So, yeah. Interesting game. Hope you guys enjoyed.